Good morning. This is Hiro NAITO speaking. Wow! I just had a fish came up and break the surface. Today looks like a perfect day for bass fishing. Today, I would like to use this guy. You got it if you said that this is crazy shad. I love this lure because this lure has so many functions built into this small body. I'm gonna have fun today. I got one! Good! This makes me happy. This bass took my bait so serious. Looks like this one came from deep water, coming straight up. Thank you! Hook is in a good place. Goodbye. I'll see you someday again. That spot and the overhanging limb, that looks so good. It is very interesting to know how Cotton Cordell started fishing business. His father purchased a rental boat business on a lake in Arkansas sometime back in 1946 or so. So, family business of boat rental started. And certainly Cotton was one of the workforce to help business. Since Cotton loved fishing so much and watching water from morning to the night, he was thinking about a lot of new ideas for bait. Lots of his ideas becoming reality later on. He created a banana-shaped jig head back in late 1940s. He told me he caught a lot of fish on this jig head. Family business was a rental boat business at this time. So certainly his father's big concern was to make sure customers has a good time and catch fish and come back again to rent a boat again. So his father was checking customers by binocular to see if they are catching fish or not. And if he felt the customers are not catching fish, then he sent a Cotton to that boat and just talk with them and show how to catch fish. Cotton goes to customer and talked with them what need to be done to catch fish. And he left his banana-shaped jig head. By the end of the day, customer caught many fish and come back. It was a big success. Many customers came back to fish again. But first thing they asked was, where could they buy those banana-shaped jig head at? It became their favorite lure. So going into 1950s, Cotton started thinking about going into fishing business. Cotton Cordell Company was established early 1950. And this crazy shad, this lure was introduced 1955. That's the year I was born. This means crazy shad was built early age of Cotton Cordell lure history. When I met Cotton, I had a list of questions. We talked and I was really impressed his commitment to build better bait. One of the good examples for this can be seen on the prop used for crazy shad. Rather than using a perfect round-shaped hole, it has a elongated oval-shaped hole, and that creates a bouncing vibration as crazy shad is coming through the water. When prop goes into the water, it will either push the body upward or pull the body downward, which creates a vibration up and down as the bait coming through the water. If prop has a perfect round hole, the bait will not vibrate up and down. So having an offset bouncing up and down lure creates more strikes. That is a unique design. And one other thing is, Crazy Shad has a short body length as a double prop bait. Yet, this bait has a volume to the body itself, creating a high buoyancy. Because it has enough buoyancy, it can support the weight of a little bit bigger prop. And little bit that bigger prop create a good vibration. Wow, I got a bite! Good! It makes me feel good. Of course, this bass couldn't resist the movement of Crazy Shad. Wow, this is a strong fish. Thank you. This fish really made my day. This bass took my Crazy Shad man talking about it. That makes me feel so good. I enjoyed it. Thank you. I love topwater so much. I can do this all day long. And tomorrow too. Thank you. It's a good size and it's a good fish. Goodbye. Oh, it was fun. My victory. Everything was so perfect from the fish came up and landing. How far did I talk about before fish came up? Oh, I remember. Crazy Shad has massive body despite of the lure length. Because of massive body, it has more flotation, which support using a little bit bigger prop. Using a bigger prop has several advantages. One of them is certainly it will create more noise. But remember, this noise can be smaller with your rod work. Another big function is stopping power. When you pull, the prop itself creates enough resistance to the water not to make your bait moving too much. That makes this bait become a good around visual cover. Visual cover is one of the areas I love to use Crazy Shad. Stopping power is one of the big reasons I picked a Crazy Shad for visual cover fishing. While I'm fishing, I kind of felt I can even make a bigger stopping power by modifying my Crazy Shad a little bit. The purpose of modification on the lure is always to make my lure fit to the field I'm fishing for. When I have new ideas, I have to try. Most of the time it may not work, but once in a while, I will find a way to make it more suitable. I know there are a lot of famous top professional tournament fishermen do modify their bait to make their strong fishing even stronger on certain situations or certain area. So modification of the bait is a very useful tool to create a strike. Crazy Shad I'm using today is not a normal type. It is modified to increase stopping power. It has a little bit more steep floating posture compared to normal. How I did it, I will show you. I just put the extra weight at the tail section. Lead plate was attached to tail section using a double adhesive tape. Adding 0.5 grams extra weight to the tail section will make this bait float with a little bit more steeper angle. I made 3 weight variations starting from 0.5 grams, 0.7 grams, and 1 grams. I find out that 0.5 grams it will stand up, but I could make a little bit more steeper. 1 gram has the steepest angle, and I'm very sure I can use it around the cover. But if I'm looking for fish with a faster pace and would like to pull a little bit longer stroke, I think 1 gram may be a little too much. I think 0.7 grams is the best fit for my situation. With this setup, I can keep my lures around the cover a little longer than normal type. Honestly, if fish are so active and biting good, you probably wouldn't feel the difference between using normal type and custom modified version. But I have run into situations using normal type and trying to catch fish and really couldn't make them bite. When I switched to those custom modified version, I could get the bite. So there is a situations it will be really useful. No reasons. If I catch a bass on the lure I modified on it, it'll make me happy and smile. From that, I'll have more confidence on what I am doing. Anyway, Coode lure has a lot of designers' idea built into it. Some of them may be a little small, well, some makes some people it looks like a tedious. There are a lot of idea built into it. Wow, I got a bite. Good. It makes me feel good. It's blow up on the water. Wow, it's super cool. Thank you. I just love the way this bass came up and hit my lure. Great. Thank you. I love the way this bass was hiding. Goodbye. I need another bass like this. There are two different load works I do with Crazy Shad in order to maximize the potential of this lure. The first one is a very short stroke. It is just like a twitching with a slack line at the end. When I try to move my bait, I'll use downstroke load work. But as soon as I feel the line tension, I just bring the rod tip back to the original position to give a slack line. If I do this, my bait movement is the minimum, and I can keep my bait close to the cover. The other technique I use quite a lot is good for around the submerged weed line. If I'm fishing spot like that, I usually combine long stroke pull followed with a short stroke, then stop it. Long stroke pull get the attention from a lot of bass, and short pull really give a lot of chance to bass to come up and hit it. One of the problems I have with double prop bait is that my line sometimes get wrapped around on the front prop. This happened especially if I'm trying to use slackline method. I guess bait is trying to run over my line. Only the thing I can do is just take a slack line out a little bit. As soon as I start giving a little extra slack line, I get these problems. So I came up with the idea to get rid of this problem forever. I am placing a clear hard tube in front of the lure. All I need is maybe 1.5 inches. With this tube, the line will never wrap around on the front prop anymore. Knowing I'm not going to have any more problem is a good feeling. Now I can make a tight cast to the cover, twitch and give a slack line. And I'm not going to have any more problems. The tube I'm using today came from a ballpoint pen. I'm pretty sure you have seen it. I mean, some of the ballpoint pen, you can see the ink from the outside. As you use it, that ink goes down and down and down, and that clear portion expanded. As soon as it gets 1.5 inches or so in length, I'll just take it out and cut it off and put it in my tackle box. I usually use worm sinker stopper in front of tube to secure that the tube is not moving around. It's good with tying a cinch knot. But this time, I wanted to make my Crazy Shad moves a little bit free, so I am using a loop knot. If I use a worm sinker stopper in front of it, tube comes all the way back up against the bait. and it will restrict the movement of the bait. So I wanted to keep my tube in front of loop knot, not all the way back to the bait. It's just tying an extra knot to secure the tube in front of the knot. With this, I will have an undisturbed loop knot attached to my crazy shad, and tube stays right in front of those knots. So I tried to figure out, and this is what I came up with. First, tie a loop knot to crazy shad. Make a loop knot as small as possible. The lure will move free. One thing I need to make sure is tube is not coming all the way back up against the bait. In order to secure the tube right in front of the knot, first I'm gonna tie a temporary knot in front of the tube by using a tag end and tie just one overhand knot. It's a temporary knot, but it's gonna secure a tube right in front of the knot. Now tube is secured and it's gonna stay. But I only tied a temporary overhand knot, so I need to finish it up with finish knot. How to make finish knot is as follows. Pick a tag end and bring it over the main line. You should have a loop in front of your eyes. Wrap around the tag end twice around the main line. Pull tag end toward the lure. That will finish finish knot. And with this finish knot, you don't have to worry about it's gonna untie itself. Now this tube stays here forever. All I need is to cut unwanted tag end. With this system, line will never wrap around the prop. Even when lure is trying to run over the line, this hard tube will hit the prop, so you don't have to worry about it. This is one way to get rid of headache forever, so you can enjoy using a double prop bait without worrying about it. I got one! Wow! This bass came up at the spot I wanted to see her. I love the way she came up on my bait. That was a good spot. This bass took my bait as soon as my bait touched the water. Thank you. Goodbye. See you again. This is great. Wow! I got one. She hit it good. I really love the way she took my bait. Thank you. Goodbye. I'll come back to see you again. I was wondering, should I make a left side or right side of that stick, and I took a left side and it came out outside of left side. At least one fish got to be there. Take it! Take it! It sounds so good. Well, I gave my best shot, but didn't come up. I enjoyed it so much. How did you like today's bass fishing with Codel's Crazy Shad? This lure has a short body, yet has enough flotation to support a little bit bigger prop. And this little bit bigger prop has an overhaul. And because of this overhauls, it will create a little bit more vibration, which makes a body just bounce up and down as it coming through the water. Next time when you have a hard time, try mix short and long stroke pull. It'll increase your strike ratio. Knowing and understanding Codel's idea built into this small crazy shad gave me more confidence over this bait. I enjoy going after my fish. Next time if you'd like to, try it. I'm pretty sure you'll love it.